Have you ever felt that difference, between a tech team that just sort of gets through the tough stuff and one that really pushes through, like they're fueled by something,
Mm.
something more? What is that invisible thread, that secret ingredient that turns individuals into this cohesive, almost unstoppable force? Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're unpacking some really fascinating insights from The Art of Technical Leadership, specifically Episode 1, The Mission Matters. Our deep dive today is all about understanding why having a compelling shared mission isn't just, some leadership buzzword. It's actually a fundamental necessity for any technical team that really wants to achieve excellence. So our mission for you, our listener, is to pull out the most potent nuggets of knowledge from this material. Think of it as a shortcut, maybe. A shortcut to truly getting the power of purpose in technical leadership. We'll go from ancient wisdom to modern stories, look at a really revealing case study, and distill some practical steps you can use right away. Okay, let's dive in. So maybe let's start way back. We're talking millennia ago with Sun Tzu's Art of War.
Right, the art of war.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, ancient military strategy. What does that have to do with writing code today?
It seems like a leap, doesn't it?
It does. But it turns out the core human stuff, it hasn't changed all that much. Sun Tzu lists these 5 factors for success. And the very first one, he calls it the moral law. And he says, and this is the quote, "The moral law causes the people to be in complete accord with their ruler so that they will follow him regardless of their lives, undismayed by any danger." Pretty heavy stuff.
It is powerful, isn't it? And what's striking is how that ancient idea, that principle, translates almost perfectly to our tech teams now. Obviously, thankfully, we're not risking our lives writing code.
Hopefully not.
Right. But that essence, being in complete accord with a purpose, that
Right.
absolutely holds true. When a team genuinely, deeply believes in its mission, they will tackle those huge challenges. They'll put in the extra time when things get tight. And maybe most importantly, they will absolutely support each other, have each other's backs.
Yeah.
It's really about unifying people behind that common cause, that shared belief that's bigger than just the individual tasks they're doing day to day.
It really reframes commitment, doesn't it? Beyond just, clocking in and out. Sun Tzu's moral law sounds grand, maybe a bit intimidating.
Yeah.
But in our world, it just boils down to the mission, the why, that really profound why behind all the daily work. It's that shared goal, that sense of purpose, that everyone from the most junior dev right up to the senior architect truly gets behind and embraces. And when that happens, when that's really in place, the team transforms. It goes from being just a collection of skilled people
Right, just individual.
to something much more powerful, a cohesive unit, everyone moving together towards that shared vision.
But that raises a really crucial question, right? Is just having a mission statement enough?
Ah, good
And
point.
the source material is really clear on this.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No way. We've all seen them, haven't we? Those beautifully crafted mission statements hanging on the wall or buried somewhere on the company website. They sound great, very aspirational, but if they don't actually influence the daily work, if the team isn't living that mission, they're just words, empty words.
If a mission isn't internalized, if people can't even say what it is, it might as well not exist.
Yeah.
It's kind of humbling for leaders, I think.
It really is. And if we connect this back, the challenge for technical leaders is taking that abstract idea, that moral law, that deeply shared purpose, and making it real, tangible, something that actually resonates. When that happens, it gives meaning even to the boring tasks, the necessary grunt work sometimes, and it truly unites everyone towards that common vision. That's what turns a bunch of skilled individuals into a genuinely high-performing, resilient team.
Okay, so let's unpack that. When a mission stops being just a statement and becomes truly shared, what are the actual tangible benefits a team sees?
Well, the source really emphasizes how it builds cohesion, and
Yeah.
that's just vital, right? Especially if you have a junior team, or maybe a team that's a bit fragmented.
Right.
Without that unifying purpose, you might just have people doing their specific job, hitting their targets, and then, heading home.
Blocking out.
Exactly. But bring in a compelling mission, something people actually connect with, and suddenly that group starts acting like a real team. Collaboration just clicks.
And this isn't just like a feeling, is it? There's data behind this.
Oh, absolutely. This isn't just fluff. Purpose directly impacts engagement and retention. Big time. Studies show, get this, 80% of American workers say a sense of purpose is essential for their job satisfaction. 80%.
Wow, that's huge.
It is. And even more, 83% want to feel genuinely connected to their company's mission. That's an overwhelming majority actively looking for that deeper meaning in their work.
So people are literally asking for this.
They are. And when people, especially maybe newer folks on the team, feel like their work actually matters, that it ties into something bigger, their motivation, their desire to work together, it just
There
skyrockets.
really is like a force multiplier then.
Mm-hmm.
I saw leadership coach Dean Hallett defines alignment as, what was it, a deep collective commitment to pursue a shared vision.
Yeah, that's a great definition.
And he points out that when you have that strong alignment, you see higher performance, more engagement, more creativity, better retention. It hits everything.
And faster decisions, too.
Right, because everyone's using the same compass.
Mm.
And for junior team members, it's like they have this built-in guide. They can often figure out priorities themselves just by asking, okay, does this actually align with our mission?
It becomes their internal North Star. It's incredibly empowering. And what's also fascinating is how a strong mission can just naturally break down silos. You know how it is in bigger places.
Oh, yeah. Back end versus front end.
Exactly. Back end, front end, QA, everyone can get really focused on just their little piece, which is understandable, but it can lead to that us versus them stuff.
Definitely.
But if all those teams clearly see how their individual work fits into the same big picture, like maybe the mission is to deliver seamless user experiences, then suddenly they're on the same side. Collaboration gets way smoother. The mission becomes this common language that cuts right across the technical boundaries.
Debbie Forrester from Tech Talent Charter, she put it so well. She said something like, the mark of a great tech leader is making sure everyone feels connected into the mission.
Yes.
To see how their piece of the puzzle is a really important part of the jigsaw.
Wow.
I love that jigsaw analogy.
It's perfect.
It bridges that gap, right? Between the big vision and the, the daily grind. So even if you're deep in the weeds fixing some obscure bug.
Yeah. You can step back and think, okay, this actually improves the checkout flow, which is part of our mission to be the easiest platform. Suddenly, even the less glamorous work feels important, feels mission critical.
Now, there's a common thought that comes up here, right? Okay, but my company sells, I don't know, insurance software, or we run an e-commerce site for pet supplies. Not exactly curing cancer.
Right. It doesn't sound inherently world-changing on the surface.
Exactly. But the source really stresses that even in these domains that might seem less sexy, you can absolutely find a deeply meaningful mission. Maybe that insurance software overhaul dramatically cuts down stress for thousands of families because claims get processed way faster.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Or maybe your pet supply site genuinely brings joy to owners because it makes caring for their pets simpler and easier. The key is finding that human impacts, or maybe a vision of technical excellence, or just some angle that genuinely resonates with the people doing the work. It's about connecting the code to a bigger, more impactful story. So, boiling it all down then, a truly shared mission gives you that powerful cohesion, real motivation, definitely better performance, and helps you keep your people.
Absolutely.
People show up not just for the paycheck, but because they actually care about the mission, about each other. They feel part of something bigger than just themselves.
And that feeling, as the source says, that's like gold for a leader. You can't really put a price on that.
Okay, we've talked about the good stuff the power of mission brings. But what about the flip side? What happens when that shared mission is just missing?
Yeah, the source paints a pretty stark picture here. And honestly, it sounds depressingly familiar for a lot of teams. We're talking burnout, that awful ticket factory feeling, and just a fundamental breakdown of trust and morale.
Let's start with burnout. That seems like a huge risk.
It's colossal. Look, people can push through long hours. They can tackle really tough problems if they believe in the why, if they see the point. But ask them to just churn through tasks that feel meaningless, totally disconnected from any bigger goal. That just drains the tank. There's nothing replenishing them, no sense that this actually matters.
There was this quote from a federal employee in a study. It was chilling. They said, "The lack of mission has made me depressed. I show up every day not knowing the mission anymore."
Wow, that's heavy.
Isn't it? It speaks to this profound disengagement. And that inevitably leads to people leaving, high turnover.
And then there's the ticket factory problem you mentioned. Can you describe that a bit more?
Yeah, this is super common. It's where teams are basically just processing tasks, like items on an assembly line. They get a ticket, they code the thing, they close the ticket, rinse and repeat.
With little autonomy or context?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No real understanding of the bigger picture, no input into why they're doing it. Developers start feeling like, well, assembly line workers. The source quotes a tech lead who put it really well. One of the fastest ways to burn out your team is to treat them like a queue.
Like a queue, where the team becomes focused solely on clearing tickets rather than on the value and impact of their work. If you can't see the impact, if you don't get the context, you disengage. People stop suggesting better ways to do things. That creative spark just fizzles out.
Ugh, that sounds incredibly demoralizing.
It's soul destroying. I've been in environments like that. You start hearing the dark humor, the jokes about being a code monkey on the feature factory conveyor belt.
Yeah, I've heard those too.
And what happens, quality starts to slip, inevitably. And your best people, the ones who really crave that sense of purpose, they start quietly updating their resumes and looking elsewhere.
Because it's not about the volume of work, necessarily.
Not always, no. It's the meaninglessness, that profound lack of a unifying why that turns challenging work into just an endless, draining stream of tasks.
And this ties into trust too, right? A
Yeah.
missing mission seems like it would destroy trust pretty quickly.
Oh, absolutely. Catastrophically. If leadership hasn't articulated a clear mission, or maybe worse, they keep changing it on a whim.
Or they say one thing and do another.
Exactly. Even worse, if they don't actually live the mission themselves, employees start questioning everything. Do they even know what they're doing? Do they actually believe any of this? Trust just evaporates.
So if the mission is quality above all, but every decision pushes for speed at all costs,
The team sees right through that, instantly. That inconsistency breeds cynicism like nothing else. They lose faith in leadership. And without that mission as an anchor, transparency goes out the window too. People don't understand why priorities are shifting, why they should bother putting in that extra discretionary effort.
they just assume it's all about output.
Pretty much. They naturally assume leadership only cares about metrics, hitting deadlines, raw output, rather than actually satisfying customers or making a real difference. Surveys show it time and again. When communication and alignment break down, trust in leadership just plummets.
So a missing mission, or a fake one, is really a symptom of poor alignment.
A major symptom, yeah.
So, to kind of sum up this dark side, without a mission, a tech team really risks becoming just a group of mercenaries working for a paycheck rather than a band of brothers and sisters on a campaign.
That's a powerful way to put it. And as Sun Tzu might say, pretty bluntly, an army of uninspired mercenaries is not going to win you the war. Simple as that.
Okay, to really make this concrete, let's dive into a story. This is a composite based on real experiences, but I bet a lot of you listening will recognize parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a mid-sized tech company. They're kicking off this huge project, modernize a legacy billing system. We're talking something maybe a decade old, creaking at the seams.
The classic modernization project.
Exactly. Leadership starts it off with good intentions. We need to upgrade this latest technology. Go modernize.
Sounds exciting on paper, right? New tech, shiny objects.
Totally. But as the months dragged on, the core problems started to surface. No one had really articulated a clear mission beyond just the technical task itself.
So it was just modernized because it's old?
Pretty much. Modernize for modernization's sake. The team was working hard, replacing components, migrating data. But there was no compelling why, no rallying cry behind the effort, just an endless list of technical chores. Really, no soul to it.
Oof. And I bet the usual symptoms started appearing.
Oh, yeah. Textbook. Developers started talking about it being a death march. I heard one junior engineer say something like, I honestly don't know who even uses this system or why we're changing it.
Wow.
We joke we're the legacy cleanup crew. It's hard to feel motivated by that.
Yeah.
That just hits you, right?
Yeah, that's brutal.
Morale just cratered. The project got nicknamed zombie work, just shuffling along brainlessly.
And the cohesion piece probably suffered too.
Massively. The database team did their thing in isolation. The front-end team did theirs. Very little connection or understanding of how it all fit together.
Silos building up.
Big time. You'd hear passive-aggressive comments in meetings. New people joining the team were totally lost. No narrative beyond rewrite this old module.
And then the ticket factory kicks in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Management sees delays, starts panicking, and focuses purely on metrics. Tickets closed. Lines of code. Creativity. Gone. Stifled.
Yeah.
A senior dev, super frustrated, said, I feel like I'm just closing tickets. I'm not actually improving anything. And guess what?
A good one started leaving.
Exactly. Your best people, the ones who needed that purpose, started looking for the door.
And the trust between the team and leadership.
Completely eroded. The team felt like they'd been sent on this impossible mission without a map. Leadership saw a disengaged team and reacted by, tightening the screws, micromanaging,
Which just makes everything worse.
a classic downward spiral. Key engineers quit, citing burnout, lack of purpose. This absolutely vital project was basically teetering on the edge of total failure.
Okay, so that's the grim picture. But the story doesn't end there, right? There's an intervention.
Right. Enter Alice, a new engineering director. She steps into this mess.
Brave soul.
Totally. And her first move, it wasn't to dive into the JIRA backlog or demand status reports. She got everyone together and asked a really fundamental question. Why do you think we're doing this project? Forget the tech for a second. What does success actually look like?
Good question. What did they say?
Well, initially, it was all technical answers, right? Better performance, newer stack, understandable. But Alice knew that wasn't enough.
She needed the real why.
Exactly. So she went on this discovery mission, talked to the support teams, talked to sales, even talked directly to customers. Dug deep to find the actual pain this project was supposed to solve.
And what did she find?
It was illuminating. The old system wasn't just old. It was causing frequent, frustrating errors for customers, generating tons of support calls, driving satisfaction way down.
So it was actually hurting the business.
Significantly, they were risking losing clients over it. The modernization wasn't just a tech refresh. It was about fixing the customer experience, rebuilding that trust, and, crucially, enabling the business to build new features they desperately needed.
Okay, so the real mission was?
Something like, rescue our customers from a terrible experience and set our company up for future innovation and growth. Much more compelling.
Totally different framing.
All
So
right.
what did Alice do with that?
She went back to the team, armed with this new narrative. She stood up and said, okay, team, our real mission here is to modernize this system so customers never have to worry about billing mistakes again, and so our business can finally innovate faster.
Powerful.
And she didn't stop there. She shared a real quote from a customer feedback form. I love the service, but dealing with these billing issues every single month drives me absolutely crazy.
Oh, wow. Making it personal.
Exactly. She looked at the team and said, that's who we're fighting for. Let's fix this for her. Let's fix it for all our customers.
That must have landed differently.
Like night and day. That reframing, connecting the code to the customer pain, it was like injecting pure oxygen into the room.
People finally understood the point.
They got it. Morale didn't just improve, it ignited. Because they could finally see how all that tedious refactoring work would directly help real people. They had a tangible human win to focus on.
So the mission became something like deliver a reliable billing experience customers can trust.
Exactly. The actual technical tasks, they didn't change that much.
Yeah.
But the mindset of every single person completely transformed. They even started informally calling themselves the billing heroes.
That tells you everything, doesn't it?
It really does.
So what happened next? What did the transformation look like?
It was remarkable. Cohesion just surged. Teams started collaborating willingly, seeing how their pieces fit together to deliver that promise of reliability.
Breaking down those silos.
Completely.
Yeah.
Junior devs, the ones who were totally checked out before, they started asking really smart questions about user impact.
Wow.
And this sense of ownership just blossomed. People started suggesting improvements, proactive refactors, stuff way outside their assigned tickets because they were invested now.
Taking initiative.
Yeah. One developer, totally on his own time, wrote an anomaly detection script because he personally wanted to prevent customers from hitting those billing errors again.
That's amazing. That's real ownership.
And trust came back. Alice showed a clear vision. She clearly cared about delivering value, not just features. And crucially, she gave the team autonomy to figure out the how. Trust flowed both ways again.
So the outcome of the project.
It wasn't just saved, it delivered on time.
Yeah.
And the best part, a huge measurable drop in billing support tickets. It was celebrated as a massive win, not just technically, but as a mission win.
Fantastic.
And that same junior dev, the legacy cleanup crew guy, during the celebration, he said, it actually feels good knowing we made customers happier. I've never worked on a project where I really knew the real-world impact like this.
What a turnaround. Night and day, like you said.
Totally.
So if we pull back again, the moral of Alice's story is just crystal clear, isn't it? The mission matters hugely. Neglect it, ignore the why, and you risk that death spiral of burnout, failure, losing good people. But if you cultivate it, genuinely and authentically, you unlock this incredible energy, this alignment, this commitment that can power your team through almost anything.
It really comes back to that Sun Tzu idea, adapted for today. The consummate leader cultivates the mission, and thus it is in their power to control success.
Absolutely.
Well said.
That story with Alice, it really hammers home the power of getting the mission right, doesn't it?
It really does.
But, okay, for leaders listening, the hard part is often translating that into action. How do we actually do this? How do we instill this moral law, this shared purpose in our own teams? Let's get practical.
Yeah, absolutely. Concrete steps.
Yeah.
Okay, the first one, and maybe the most fundamental, is you have to start with why, and then be relentless about clarifying and communicating that mission. It has to be authentic. As a leader, you own crystallizing the purpose. Don't just assume everyone gets it or sees it the way you do. You have to paint that vivid picture. Who benefits from what we do? And why does it actually matter?
So less improve system uptime. Right, much less of that. And more like improve uptime so that our customers can rely on us 24/7. And hey, so that our engineers get paged less at 3 a.m. Connect it to people.
And authenticity is key here, you said.
Crucial. Remember Debbie Forster's warning, an amazing mission statement which doesn't reflect day-to-day reality will come back to bite you. It has to be real. And then communicate it constantly. Weave it into meetings, docs, decisions, everything.
That authenticity really matters.
Mhm.
Which leads nicely into the second step, I think.
Hmm.
You need to involve the team in the mission. Genuinely listen.
Yes, this is not a monologue from the leader. Mission requires buy-in. You have to actively bring your team into the conversation, talk about the goals, brainstorm how to get there together.
Because people support what they help create.
Exactly. People are far more likely to rally behind something they feel they had a hand in shaping or even just refining. It builds that deep ownership. And honestly, you often get fantastic ideas surfaced from the team this way.
Ideas you might miss otherwise.
For sure. As the source says, engagement starts with conversation. You have to make time and space for that dialogue.
Okay, so clarify the why, involve the team.
Hmm.
What's next?
Step 3 is making it a daily habit. Constantly connect the day-to-day work back to the mission. This is simple, but so powerful. You have to consistently link the tasks, the features, the decisions back to that bigger why.
How does that look in practice?
Well, like in sprint reviews, don't just demo the feature, frame it. We delivered feature X, and here's how it moves the needle on our mission to whatever the benefit is.
Okay.
Use the mission to help prioritize. Ask, does this task truly serve our core mission right now? Even the less glamorous stuff like writing tests. Frame it. Writing these tests ensures our promise of reliability holds up, which protects our customers' trust.
Right, giving purpose to the grind.
Precisely. Betsy Allen Manning advises leaders to constantly reinforce how each person's contribution aligns with those bigger goals. It makes the abstract mission feel like a practical, everyday tool.
Got it. And the final step feels like it lands squarely back on the leader.
It does. Step 4 is lead by example and actively keep the mission alive. Your team watches everything you do.
Actions speak louder.
Absolutely. You must demonstrate genuine, unwavering commitment through your decisions. If the mission says quality first, you cannot push a rushed, buggy release just to hit a date. That kills credibility instantly. Show integrity.
Consistency builds trust.
It's the bedrock, and then you have to actively sustain it. Share stories. Share customer compliments that show the mission in action. Celebrate wins by explicitly tying them back. That 20% faster page load, that's us delivering on our promise of a smooth user experience. Great job.
Keeping it visible.
Constantly. Maybe even do quarterly mission check-ins with the team.
Yeah.
How are we doing against it? Is it still the right mission? This continuous championing makes it part of the team's DNA, part of the culture.
Okay, those are 4 really solid steps. Anything else to add?
Just one final crucial point to tie it all together. Make sure your tech team's mission is clearly aligned with the broader company goals.
Connecting upwards.
Exactly. Your team's mission shouldn't exist in a vacuum. It should feel like a specific, actionable translation of the overall company mission, tailored to your team's context. So if the company mission is, say, make finance easy for everyone.
Your team's mission might be build a banking app our grandparents find intuitively easy to use.
Perfect example. That connection prevents mission silos, shows your team how their work contributes to the even bigger picture, which is hugely motivating. Plus, it helps garner support from the rest of the organization.
That makes a lot of sense, creating that through line.
Precisely.
Wow. Okay, so today, we've really journeyed quite a distance, haven't we? From Sun Tzu's ancient moral law.
Right back to the modern tech team.
Yeah, seeing how it echoes so powerfully today, it really underscores that technical leadership, at its heart, isn't just about the code or the systems. It's profoundly about people.
Mm-hmm.
And purpose.
Mm-hmm.
A compelling, genuinely shared mission. It's like the thread that stitches a team together. It's the fuel that gets them through the tough times, through adversity.
It really is. And if you, as a leader, cultivate that genuine, authentic mission, one that people actually connect with your team, will follow you. Not because they have to report to you.
But because they want to be part of that journey.
Exactly. Give your team that compelling why and trust them. They will, time and time again, figure out and deliver the how. When that mission truly lives in their hearts and minds, the results don't just follow. They often soar beyond expectations.
So as you, our listener, go forward from this deep dive today, maybe consider this. What's one small, specific action you could take this week? Something to maybe clarify your team's why a bit more, or communicate it more effectively, or perhaps embody it more consistently yourself.
Mm.
How might just that single intentional action start to shift the landscape for your team? How could it help transform them from just a group of skilled individuals into that truly unified, passionate force ready to tackle whatever comes next? Something to think about. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the power of mission. Until next time, lead with purpose and stay grounded in what truly matters.